Okay, let's be real. The world feels, well, pretty chaotic right now, doesn't it? So how do you find your way through all of that? Today, we're going to dive into something called RemarkableU. It's a really interesting project that's offering a new kind of map for navigating modern life. So let's get into it.
This quote just hits the nail on the head, right? That feeling of being totally adrift in this sea of digital noise. I mean, we're all looking for something real, something that actually connects, something that cuts through all the nonsense. I'm betting this sounds familiar to a lot of you.
So, where does all this chaos even come from? Well, the folks behind RemarkableU have a really powerful take on it. They call it a call from the chaos. And this is the reality they're talking about. I mean, the world feels like it's mid-protest, mid-awakening, all at once. The systems we used to count on feel kind of broken, and frankly, the constant outrage is just exhausting. And on top of all that, we're being shaped by these algorithms that we have zero control over. It's that feeling of powerlessness, and it's something a lot of us know all too well.
But what if we could flip that script? What if we could actually change that dynamic? That's where the core vision of RemarkableU comes into play. And it's a pretty radical rethinking of our whole relationship with technology.
So here's the big idea. It's a movement, a new way of learning and leading. And it's all built on this core belief. What if human and algorithmic intelligence, AI, could actually collaborate for the common good? The idea is that together, we can light up the path forward. It's not about us versus the machines, it's about us with the machines.
And I love how this slide lays out the shift in mindset. It's all about moving from being passive to being active. So instead of just being shaped by algorithms, we start shaping them for good. We go from just reactive outrage to deliberate orchestration, and from a place of fear to one of authorship, taking the pen back and writing our own story. That's a huge shift.
Okay, so that's a powerful vision, for sure. But how do you actually make that happen in your own life? Well, RemarkableU isn't just about ideas. It offers a set of really practical navigational tools designed to do exactly that. At the heart of it all are these two key tools. First, you've got the map, or game board. Think of it like a visual guide to your own inner world, the landscapes of your mind, body, emotions, and spirit. It's your personal territory. And then you have the companion guidebook. This is like your compass and your field guide, all in one. It brings the map to life with all the questions, insights, and practices you need to actually navigate that territory and make some cool discoveries.
All right, so this whole project is still in its early stages. It's being built right now. And because of that, there's actually an invitation on the table for people to get involved right from the very beginning, as what they're calling founding contributors or charter members.
And this is a really important point they make. This isn't about charity, it's about collaboration. It's a chance to be a co-creator, not just a donor. You're being invited to be part of the journey from day one, to actually help shape what this thing becomes.
So what does it take to become a charter member? It's a one-time contribution of $500. And for that, you're not just buying something off the shelf. You're getting to be part of this really exclusive group of founding supporters who are bringing this whole thing to life.
And what you get for that contribution is, well, it's pretty significant. You're not just getting a product, you're really getting an entire experience. For starters, your name gets printed in the acknowledgments of the very first edition. You're literally in the book. You'll get a beautiful, signed physical copy of the guidebook and the commemorative map. Plus, you get an all-access pass to 4 foundational workshops, and you're invited to this immersive 40-day voyage, which is a guided quest happening in spring 2026.
So let's break down these workshops for a second, because they're designed to be super practical. You'll get to test drive the map, you'll play around with co-creating with AI in a group setting, you'll totally revamp how you talk about yourself and your story, and you'll even get to run a 5-week lab to test out your own ideas. It's basically a complete toolkit for your own growth, both personally and professionally.
And this all circles back to that collective mission, right? It's not just about what you get out of it individually. It's about being part of this transparent, collaborative effort to build something good for everyone.
And speaking of transparency, they lay out exactly where every single dollar of that contribution goes. As you can see, it's all accounted for, from the actual publishing and distribution costs, to building the online platform, to operations support. And I think this is really cool. They've even set aside a portion for what they call the Hope Chest, which is basically a scholarship fund to make sure this work is accessible to more people. It's all about building a project that's sustainable and fair. This quote really is the heart of the whole offer. You're not buying courses, you're not buying content, you're buying contribution.
It's a totally different way of thinking about value, isn't it? You're not just a consumer. You're an investor in a shared vision, a shared hope for a better way forward.
And this is the real payoff they're talking about. It's that feeling you'll have, the ability to look back at this crazy, chaotic time in 2025 and say, you know what? When I didn't know what else to do, I helped bring something genuinely good into the world. Wow, that's a pretty powerful thing to be able to say.
And so we're left with this question, a really powerful one. When the world feels impossible, what will you help create? It's a challenge, really. A challenge to reclaim our own sense of agency and start building a more meaningful future, together. Thanks for exploring RemarkableU with me today.